Oh my goodness. No.
No what? You got butterflies.
I don't have butterflies, man.
Why?
Why, what?
Why don't you have butterflies?
Because I'm not nervous. What, you begged it of her? 15 years. Hey everybody, welcome to Unique Gifts. I'm with my husband Matthew. And we're oh. Oh god, my head is so shiny. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Patrice. That's not what I wanted. Hey everybody.
You can't do it. Why can't you do this right now?
Oh, because this is bloopers. So, hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Patrice, and this is my wonderful husband Matthew.
Hey, what's up?
And we're going to answer some questions. This is a unique life one-on-one with us. So this is something new we like to do. I mean, we're a family fun channel, and we are going to talk about having a child on the autism spectrum. And we got some questions that we got from you guys. You can also leave more questions down below in the comments, or we will tag our Instagram in the description box below. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, first question is, what does autism mean to your family? What does it mean to you?
A wonderful challenge.
Yeah, it is a beautiful, exciting, scary roller coaster full of emotions, but I am very thankful that we were picked to be our children's parents. So, very thankful. It's just a water drop. It's just, see? It's a beautiful adventure. Beautiful. Just great. So the next question is...
Yeah, you didn't answer the question.
I did. I said it's a beautiful, emotional roller coaster, but we wouldn't trade it for the world because, you know, it's our assignment. It's what God gave us. He knew we could handle it. That's why He gave it to us. I mean, He doesn't give us anything that we can't handle. So He must have known we could handle being her parents. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay.
So question number 2 is, how old was your daughter when she was diagnosed with autism? So we got Yasmin's diagnosis when she was in kindergarten. Honestly, everyone told us that she was fine. She would grow into herself. She had a pediatrician that told us that she's just delayed, but it's okay, she'll catch up. Some kids, they'll catch up, just give her time, and she'll talk when she wants to. She doesn't have nothing to say right now. And we had an awesome kindergarten teacher, and it was her first year teaching. Poor thing. It was her first year teaching, and her at the time fiance told us, because he actually worked with special needs children, that you need to get her tested for autism. And we got tested. That was the longest 7-hour meeting of my entire life. Was it 8?
Yeah.
My goodness, because it started at noon. We didn't get out until like 7 at night. So, yeah. And it was me half the time crying, half the time trying to understand, and half the time every question in my head was like, so that's why, you know. And it was funny because when we went back to the pediatrician and we told him what we were told, he was like, oh yeah, I can see that, yeah. I'm like, so why didn't you say nothing earlier? But, hey. So that answers the question. What do you prefer to say? A child with autism or an autistic child?
A child with autism.
Honestly, I don't like to say either. She's our child. You know, that's just Yasmin. That's just our baby. That's our kid.
Well, yeah, I know that. I get that. But at least for me, it helps me understand where I need to go when I'm talking to her.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to teach her something, or show her something.
Yeah.
Get down at her level. It helps me out. I did look at the camera.
You look dead at me. Yeah, that's looking at me.
Yeah,
Look there.
I'm looking at beauty.
Aw, that's love.
Don't do that.
What?
Oh, no, it's not a puppy.
I just like to say Yasmin. I grew up with children on different spectrums, so I just call them by their names. We try not. I mean, we'll get to that question later, but there's a lot of people who speculate and want to judge and prejudge what is wrong with our kids, and they like to give advice when advice is not wanted about what they think is wrong with our kid, and it's not so. And especially when she stems out or does whatever, and they'll look at her like 85 head strange, and I tell them, you know, she has autism. They're like, oh, she's fine. You know, so it's kind of like, oh, that's her pass in your book because the reason why she's acting this way is because she has autism. But it shouldn't be that way. You should just leave, you know, look at the kid and leave, you know. But again, we'll get to that question.
I always felt like that was more or less like an excuse sometimes.
For some people, yeah.
And it's like, why don't they make an excuse as to why a kid is being a kid?
Yeah.
I mean, how much crazy, goofy stuff did you guys do as a kid? I did a lot. I still kind of do something, but still.
We still, as an adult, we've done crazy stuff.
So it's just, I don't know about anybody else, but I was taught everybody is different.
Yeah.
So that's just part of the uniqueness of our kids.
Yeah.
Us.
And it's honestly the reason why our channel is named Uneek Gifts in the way that it's spelled. It's not spelled the real way how Uneek is spelled. It's spelled Uneek because of the uniqueness of people and the diversity of people. And we didn't want to follow into that mold and that box that people have, that people are, because every family is different. Every person is different, and every spectrum of autism, whether it's Asperger's to, you know, ADHD, ADD, every person is different. And I like how we did our name for our channel and for our business. It's unique. We are unique, and our family is unique. So, yeah. So, another question is, how does your daughter communicate with you? Well, early on in her life, when she wasn't talking, I learned sign language. And I was actually going to school to be a teacher to work with children with a special need. And I learned a bit of sign language when I was there. So to communicate with Yasmin, we taught her baby sign language, which she still does use to this day. Like, if we're really not getting what she wants or whatever, and she can't physically show me, she'll sign it. And I get it. I'm like, oh, gotcha. And I go get what she needs. Other than that, she talks, but it's
very garbled.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I had a closeness with Yasmin, so I could always kind of sense what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I would get it right, but there are days where I'd
be
way
off.
off.
Way off. And I think that goes for both of us because not only do we have Yasmin, we have another daughter named Melissa, and she is fine. She's any regular 10-year-old because our youngest daughter is 10. She likes different.
She's 11.
Oh gosh, she's 11. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh, 39 is evil. I'm telling you. Premenopause is no joke.
Oh.
No joke. I will be doing a video on how we're coping with premenopause and me having premenopause.
Yes.
Because it is no joke. No joke. Yeah, she is 11. She was born in 07. Yeah, she was born. That look means.
His boss. Yes, I know. I cannot believe.
For a split second. For a split second. I'm telling you, we will be doing a video on premenopause after a hysterectomy and stuff because it's been a year since my hysterectomy. But we will do another video on that really soon. So stay tuned. But to answer that question, yeah, it's very garbled. It's very mismatched. Like she'll say things that she knows. Like she knows a lot of words. It's just from her brain to her mouth to what she says, somehow that connection gets lost. Yeah. Like she'll have a whole sentence up here, but by the time she says it, it's Mom, please. I'm like, what? And I, being the person I am, I repeat what I hear. So I'm like, and I feel like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
And she looks at you like, you cannot talk.
I know.
It's funny.
And she looks at me like, that is not even English. Like,
why are you sitting there doing this to me?
Yeah. It's and like what I said, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, it's like when she was trying to say stem flipper, still can't even say it. The flip.
Stop trying.
Every time I look at that movie, I just say, I'm like, okay. And that's how I feel. And I dislike that I feel that way, but that's what I hear. But to her, she made a complete sentence, and she doesn't understand why you don't understand it. In one video we do for Unique Life, we will actually have her with us, so you can actually hear her and hear how it is when she speaks. Not to pick on her, just to hear what our child autism sounds like. So, because every child with autism is different. So
yeah, because I know she has a whole lot to say, and it just doesn't come out how we normally would hear it.
Yeah,
like how everyone's gonna see this and know exactly what I'm saying. And yet Yasmin wants to communicate and does communicate like that. It just doesn't come out like that.
Yeah.
And I know that she tries to talk without moving her mouth, so she'll talk like this and everything like that. And then it's like her mouth is not moving, but she can't pronounce the words that will communicate clearly.
Yeah.
But her being, her child and stuff and paying very close attention to her, we have roughly good ideas as to what she wants.
Yeah.
What she's asking us. Now, when she gets excited about something,
oh gosh, all brakes are off. All bets are off.
I'm so lost.
And it's funny because we have, I have a brother and I have a nephew on the spectrum. And everyone kept telling me, you're going to have a kid on the spectrum because your brother's on the spectrum and your nephew's on the spectrum, so you're bound to have a kid on the spectrum. I don't believe that. And I've done research. It's a higher number of boys or males who get autism and on the spectrum than females. And it's like 1 in, I think, 84 for girls who will get on the spectrum. And I count myself blessed every day. The fact that we have our children, but like I said in the beginning, God does not put more on us than we can bear. So He knew we were strong enough to handle this, and I'm thankful for it. And every day, she literally opens my eyes to the most minute things. Like, I honestly did not know that a butterfly's wings are so precise until she told me, "Mama, look at the spot." And I was like, "What spot?" And if you looked at it, you would be like, "Okay, it's a butterfly, let it go." But until you homed in on it, I'm like, "Oh, there is a spot." And then you notice your world painted so much differently. I guess it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like that for any other parent that has a child on the spectrum, but I know for me, I can only speak for me because I can't speak for my husband. For me, it's like opening your eyes to another. I don't know how to explain it, but it. You see me, and you see me, and you see us from your computer, but do you see? Do you see like that spot there? Do you see how I have red in my hair? Like, you can see I have dark hair, but can you see that bit of red? And that's the part. That's that part that a child on the spectrum can see. They can see those little tiny imperfections. But in their world, it's perfect. So, and I love how the symbol is a puzzle piece because, some puzzles don't fit together and some puzzles do. But with a child on autism, they have all the puzzles, but they're just missing that one little piece.
See, I never looked at it like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, growing up, I never knew anyone that had autism or ADHD or anything like that. I didn't know about that until in the 2000s. So growing up in the 80s and 90s, if they had a lot of energy and they couldn't focus, hey, you just have a lot of energy, you can't focus. You need to focus. So it was never anything like that. And I grew up as an only child, so I missed a lot of stuff, but I was also prepared for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So hearing you say that they have the puzzle piece and are missing a piece, after watching Yasmin grow, me talking to her, me doing research about it, because I knew nothing about it. I was totally clueless.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that every man feels that, yeah, my child's going to come out not only great, but better than themselves.
Yeah.
At least that's how I thought. Well, in a way, it's not that she's better, it's just that she doesn't have the limitations that everyone else seems to kind of have.
Yeah.
So for me, she's not missing a piece. Every piece fits, it's just not fitting the way that we think or how I thought it should be. And, they always have the saying of think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
There is no box for her.
No, there isn't.
So and it took me a while to really understand where she was coming from for a lot of it. When I talk to her and listen to her and just watch her, I watch her a lot. It's funny. I'll sit there with classical music and my headphones and I'm just looking at her and she could be so focused. And it's like, sometimes I feel like she can see the nucleus in the atom. She focuses so hard.
Yeah.
But, realizing that she can see your whole face when she's looking at you. And although sometimes it seems like she's looking past you.
Yeah, a lot.
And a lot of times it's like, well, what did I do? Mm-hmm. Am I invisible? But it's just another way of looking at things.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing missing. And for me, I feel like I have to get out on that level and look at things. And in a way it helps.
Yeah. So
I know there's a gift that she has that she's trying to portray to us. I'm trying to look for it because I want to know.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, intriguing for me.
Cool. Well, that's the dad perspective. And that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I guess because I'm the second of 5 kids, and my brother, my elder brother, he's on the spectrum. So for me, I saw it in a totally different light. So my perspective of how it is going to be different from my husband's because, as you just heard, he didn't grow up having that around. So where I did every day, and I was the liaison for my brother, and my mom. So when he would ask my mother something, my mother would look at me like, "What?" And I'm like, "He asked, did you want da 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 da?" And that was the one reason why I went for when I went to college. I actually went for that particular field of study because I wanted to make sure my brother Robert was prepared and protected, and if anything happened to him, he had a voice. So, and so it brings us to our next question: what activities does your daughter enjoy?
Anything physical with high energy, lightning speed.
Speedy Hungry Kid type.
I mean lightning speed. Your speed of sound is too slow.
Yeah.
She sleep.
Yeah, basically, it's like that's boring.
Yeah, it's always physical activity, high intensity, high paced. You really have to think and be very creative.
Yeah.
So she's very ticklish. So I like to tickle her. My fingers do all the work.
Very ticklish, and she is a daredevil. Like, oh, she's daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh. She's that kid that we have to tell when she's at the park, do not jump out the swing. Do not jump off top, don't go down.
I jumped off the swing.
Yasmin jumping off the swing looks like you need to call EMS. Because it's one of those
Flying trapeze type.
yes,
Yeah.
It's like, catch me if you can. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to tell her, don't jump off that. You don't jump off that. You don't jump off that. She has they have bunk beds. And I think the honest reason why we got bunk beds is so she wouldn't jump on the bed. Because when she was younger, she used to jump on the bed so high, she almost hit her head. And she would like put her arms up so she touched the ceiling. So when she jumped, she was like, woof. And it was the cutest thing. But then she got so excited, she would hit her head. And I'm like, it's not, no.
See, and I guess that's the mom in you. Like, oh my God, my baby's coming out. No. I admire you.
Because that's me.
Yeah.
So
but when she's playing and stuff, I see that there's no fear in that little girl.
No, none.
And that's why she is. So we tell her, don't jump so high. You can jump, but just don't jump too high. You can go fast, but slow down to the speed of sound.
Like dash.
Go a little bit slow.
Like, I want to get her a trampoline. Look at my husband's face. Like, I've been itching to buy her a trampoline, but I have a feeling that would not end well for us. So, see, he agrees it won't end well. So, but
Yeah, it won't end well for you.
I'm not getting on a trampoline for her to bounce me off. I'm not made of Rubbermaid. That's just not how my body is.
Who said you can jump on a trampoline?
I can't jump on it.
I know my little girl. She's going to jump on it and jump really high, and then she's going to want to jump 2 miles.
Oh, God, no, can't. Because then I'm going to break everything in my whole body to try to catch her. No. She likes doing board games, and she got a Simon, and that's teaching her the memory of everything. She loves robotics. She loves working on computers.
She likes gadgets and buttons and flashy lights.
She likes
Typical
anything that
kids.
twinkles and sparkles. But she really never like those light up shoes everybody was crazed about when she was growing up. And I was actually nervous about buying her light up shoes because when the light went out, because this was after we found out that she was on the spectrum, that if the light went out, she would be disappointed. Mm-hmm. And then she'd be like, you gotta buy me new shoes. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. So, but she loves bowling. She does like any other typical kid. She loves bowling. She loves going to the park. She loves playing with her doll babies.
Yeah.
She's like any other kid.
Anything that we did growing up, especially in the 80s and 90s, the stuff that we liked to do then.
Play outside. Play with water guns.
She likes to do too.
They like squirt guns and water
Put her in the pool, she's a little fish.
Fishes.
When you put her out on the basketball court, she's going to try to make every single basket.
That was cute, y'all.
Okay? And she will make a golf event out of anything.
Putt-putt golf was just an adventure.
Happy Gilmore.
It was an adventure. And I thought she was going to throw the club in the water. But she had a great time. So, and she loves playing, video games, the Wii. She likes Pac-Man. Just any typical kid things. So the next question is, does your daughter go to an autistic school? No. She actually goes to regular public school, just like I said. She's just like any other teenager. She goes to public school. She mingles with classes. She takes regular classes with regular kids. She's been on the honor roll in middle school now for 2 consecutive years. She's won numerous awards, but she also does Special Olympics. She's been in cheerleading.
Yeah.
She has taken dance. In cheerleading, she was on the front line. And if you ladies were ever cheerleaders, you know that front line, you had to give it pep and all you got. And she made the front line. I'm telling you, I used to be a cheerleader. I was in the middle because I was the big girl, so I got to hold all the other girls. But to be on the front line as a cheerleader, that is something. To be on the front line as a child, with a disability, that speaks volumes. And when I saw her in that little uniform, if I have a picture of it, I'll make sure to put it in.
I have pictures.
We'll make sure to put that in here, somewhere around here. But her and her little cheerleading uniform, it gave me such goosebumps and butterflies. I cried her first game. It was so beautiful. I cried her first game.
Yeah, that's her perspective.
I did. I cried her first game.
Okay.
Daddy was like, I think Daddy mostly was trying to watch the game, but then Yasmin, it was so funny. Yasmin was supposed to be cheering, but watching the game, and she was actually watching the players when she was supposed to be cheering, like, touchdown, touchdown. She's like, yeah, run that ball! So her dad, because football house, she was like, yeah, touchdown! Woo! She did her own little cheerleading routine, and cheerleaders were doing their regular routine. It was so hilariously cute. It was so cute.
It was weird for me because, growing up, playing sports, basketball, football, you see the cheerleaders, and in high school, you look at them a certain way. And I'm pretty sure every male knows that way. But when you see your own daughter doing it, it just messes up your whole universe. And then when you think about my little girl is sitting here cheerleading in middle school.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about the front line. Could care less about the front line. Rah rah. But to see her and she's actually doing a lot of this stuff, and she's enjoying it, and she's watching the game, and she knows little moves, and hear the cheerleading coach and her teachers say, she has no fear, and she's picking it up, and she's very flexible, has all the energy in the world. Mm-hmm. And it's something that she enjoys. She just enjoys doing stuff. And that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was awesome. So moving on to the next question is, it was really nice. Someone asked, how are we doing? So how are we doing?
Okay, well, how are you doing?
After this long and after her diagnosis and everything, it hit me so hard. I cried. I honestly, I negotiated with God. I was like, God, please just take this away from her. Don't let this happen to her. There's going to be so many restrictions, and she's going to, be out of place. But then, as time has gone on, I noticed it wasn't a curse. It was a gift. because it was a gift to open my eyes that just because someone's different doesn't mean they're not lovable. Um, and it taught me because I looked at the movie The Other Sister a very long time ago, and it was when I was younger, when my brother, you know, has autism. So when I watched that movie, it was with my brother, and now that I'm a mother with a child on the spectrum, when I looked at that movie, I cried because there's so many possibilities for her that even if she didn't have this basically diagnosis, she could still do because she broke like the walls, because most children on the spectrum, they won't put them in sports. They have them, I call it, in the dungeon parts of the school, like in the basement and stuff, and they don't go around the population. But everyone knows her in her middle school. Every teacher is like, "Oh, yo, Yasmin and Alyssa's parents. Oh my gosh, it's so good to finally meet you guys. You know, we love your daughter. We love her." And it just, I don't know. It just makes
her light shines very bright.
Yeah.
In middle school.
Yeah. It shines bright in elementary school. It shines bright when we go out. I mean, she's just a beautiful person. And she's a beautiful person inside and out. Both of our daughters are. For with Yasmin, it's like she radiates. It's like she walks in the room and she radiates. And everybody wants to be around her. People want to talk to her. And it throws people off when she talks. And then, like I said, we'll get to that question later. But it's just like, wow. You know, and then and then when she starts beating you at Pac-Man, you look at her different. You know, or when she starts whipping your tail in Mortal Kombat, you look at her different. Or when she is sitting in Walmart playing the older, video games and stuff like that, you don't see a child with autism. You see a child. You see your daughter. You see your kid. You see your son. If you have a son on this spectrum, you don't see a disability. You see love. You see the gift that God blessed you with, gave you to take care of. But that's how I'm doing. I'm doing great now. And if you would have asked me years ago, I would have told you I was a wreck. I was crying all the time. But now that she's 13 and we're talking about college now, we're already talking about college. Because in middle school, we have to talk about college because some of the colleges around here, they fill up before she even gets to high school. So we have to literally put a bid in middle school so she'll have a slot after she graduates high school. So, yeah. So how are you doing?
Well, I was actually doing good. I mean, I went about it like every male that has in their mind, I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good father. I want to be a good man. I want to be the one that everyone looks up to. I want to be the hero that my kids see. So I was never really a wreck about anything. This was more like, okay, this is something new. I need to challenge it, conquer it, be victorious about it, and move on.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of times, I did pray to God about not to take it away, but to change my perspective and help me learn how I can reach her. Because I can't reach her like I reach everybody else out here. She's different.
Yeah.
She's unique. So I have to come at her and approach her and talk to her and teach her and be with her in a unique way that only she will understand. Because it's just for her.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of praying about God, about me, and changing my whole thought process and my whole way of dealing to fit her, so that we can have the closeness and be the father and stuff. And we have our relationship. It's different than everybody else's. It's different than what I had. It's different from what I see other people have, and it's meant to be because not every child is the same.
Yeah.
So I was always this is a challenge, but we're gonna beat this challenge.
Oh yeah.
I've always been never really been the type to kind of run away from anything that's hard.
No, he's not. 'Cause he got me as a wife. Just put a pin in that one. So, next question. Next question. What can someone do to help you? One of the biggest things is I have marked down here is just give a listening ear. Just, sometimes parents need to just vent. Sometimes we just need to talk it out with somebody. Also, give kind words. Don't be that person like, oh, you're a bad parent, or this is what you did, if you didn't feed your child gluten or you didn't give her their shots. Don't do that. Just don't. And don't judge just because she stims out in public or she's having a bad day. Don't look at us like we're bad parents. Don't look at us like, oh, you need to discipline your child. Oh, don't do it. And those are the key things because, it's happened to me when I was out. I actually was nursing. I was nursing my kid and I was in the bathroom and a lady was like, oh, you're so unsanitary. Okay, well, there's no places here where I can sit down and openly nurse my. It's different now, but in 2005, it was different. You couldn't do that. And, nowadays, we're whipping out boobies on the cover of Time magazine. It's not how it was in 2005. We had to go in closed facilities and nurse our kid. And you're getting upset at me because I'm in a stall, basically, nursing my child. And I'm trying to nurse her, keep her held, and hold my arm, position it. It was a mess. But we got through it. Just don't judge us when you see us in the street and you see our daughter stimming out and, she's just poised and don't judge her, just don't.
Yeah. It does take you back when you first see someone judging your child because they're not acting the normal way or how they expect them to act. And yeah, at first I did get a little taken back. It was like, why would you judge a child on how they are? But a lot of prayer. I pray a lot about a lot of questions about stuff. And I had pretty much learned that they look and they stare and they even judge only because they're uninformed.
Yeah.
They're ignorant to a lot of the things that happen just because they don't have the experience or they don't have someone in their family that has it that's close to them. They could have a third cousin that they only seen once or twice that has it and was only around them for a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. They're not living with them. All I really would ask is if you see it, don't criticize or judge. Just have more of a curious mind to learn more. Because once you understand, hey, this child is on the spectrum, this child has autism, think about the possibilities that could happen.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, they have a gift in there that will dwarf anything that you ever thought.
Yeah.
Even your greatest skill won't compare to their gift that they have.
Yeah.
It's just finding it.
Yeah. It truly is. Truly is. And let's see. The last question we have, and we thank you so much for the questions, is how do I explain autism to other children or even adults? Really good question. How I explain it to people is don't look at them as being different. Look at them being someone just like you. Just extreme. I mean, because I don't know. I never looked at children with them being different. And how do you explain autism? You don't. It's just like explaining the sun and the sky. You know. I mean, there are more doctors, nurses, professionals that actually are on the autistic spectrum that you just don't know about. There's actually a famous horse trainer that has autism. And there are shows now coming out showcasing children and people on spectrum. They even have a new puppet on Sesame Street to let kids know that, hey, sometimes everybody's not in a square peg. There are different people, and different people is what make the world go around. And if we were all meant to be like Patrice, it would be a very weird place. I'm just saying, weird. Just sporadically just do stuff out of nowhere, like break out into songs. Not how you want to live your life. As my husband looks at me strangely, because he knows, but just like, I'm serious. A professor of mine in college told me when we were learning about the different ways of people, and if someone ever asked you about your spectrum, just say, it's just like living in a world with yous. How long would you survive living with just you? And I said 2.5 days. He said, why? I said, because before long we will eventually kill each other out. So just think of it. And that's why there are different people, and there are different nationalities, and that's why there's different nationalities, different kind of people. There's not a woman just like me. There are like women that are different from me. They can have the same kind of hair as me, but they don't have the same hair as me. They might have my same eye shape, but they don't have my same eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I've never been asked.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I've never been asked. But the best way I could probably explain it would be, think about a time where you didn't have any fear about anything. And take that time and combine it with a time where there were no limits to your mind.
Yeah.
To your dreams. To anything that you thought about. And combine those two together. Now just imagine if you were able to live with those two words together your entire life.
Yeah.
For me, that would be autism.
Yeah, basically.
That's just how I think about it.
He's so smart.
That's just how I think.
He's so smart.
I could be wrong.
I mean, that's a good analogy. And, I liked it. It was good. Sorry about the shaky camera. But it's okay. So we'd like to thank you so much. We'd like to thank you so much for watching this one-on-one with us. There will be more one-on-ones and later later. There'll be more of them later. Just submit your questions that you would like us to do a one-on-one down below. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
Good. So from all of us to all of you, we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.